It's almost 11 and there's still no stream, and Baldo ain't streaming tonight. It's almost 11 and there's still no stream, Baldo ain't streaming tonight. It's 1 minute past 11 and there's still no stream, streaming tonight. It's 1 minute past 11 and there's still no stream, and Baldo ain't streaming tonight. It's already 11 and there's still no stream, and Baldo ain't streaming tonight. It's no longer 11 and there's still no stream, and Baldo ain't streaming tonight. Almost 11 and there's still no stream, and Baldo ain't streaming tonight.
Welcome, Kiwi Farm. You do not have the full store E. Ooh, ooh, come, Kiwi Farm. Come and look upon the heart. Upon the heart. Ooh, let's talk in DMs. It is not too late for my mercy. Ooh, ooh, come and look upon the heart. Upon the heart. Oh, 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 I'm a god. How can you jail a god? What a grand and intoxicating innocence. I'm a god. How can you jail a god? Shame on you, sweet Kiwi Farm. I'm a god. I'm a god. I'm a god. God. I'm a god. I'm a god. I'm a god. Welcome, Kiwi Farm. You do not have the full store E. Ooh, ooh. Come, Kiwi Farm, come and look upon the heart. Upon the heart. Oh, let's talk in DMs. It is not too late for my mercy. Oh, oh, come and look upon the heart. Upon the heart. Oh, 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 I'm a god. How can you jail a god? What a grand and intoxicating innocence. I'm a god. How can you jail a god? Shame on you, sweet Kiwi Farm. I'm a god. I'm a god. I'm a god. God. I'm a god. I'm a god. I'm a god. No rehab or intervention can work in this place. There is no escape. No rehab or intervention can work in this place. There is no escape. No rehab or intervention can work in this place. There is no escape. No rehab or intervention can work in this place. There is no escape. Oh, I'm a god. How can you jail a god? What a grand and intoxicating innocence. I'm a god. How can you jail a god? Shame on you, sweet kiwi farm. I'm a god. I'm a god. I'm a god. God. I'm a god. I'm a god. I'm a god.
Watch you burst, someday you'll crash and burn. But I'll put you in an urn and usher you into the farms. Facing jail time and court fees that boggle the mind. Your children can't sleep at night, watching their father self-harm. If the internet decides that you can't be satisfied, and your giant fucking nose snorts up all the coke inside, if there's no one to blame but you and that cursed zone each your charm, I'll usher you into the farms. You taught homeschool, you were opposed to all the right rules. We all used to think this guy's cool, but now you're a fixture of the farms. What happened, Nick? Was it your whiskey dick? When I see you, it makes me sick. You're nothing but ego and smart. Your career has fucking died, 'cause our wife wasn't satisfied. You let Steeltone fuck her all, and then you slowly lost your mind. Went from alcoholic to junkie. Note the track marks on your arms, so I'll usher you into the farm. Watch you burn, someday you'll crash and burn. But I'll put you in an urn and usher you into the farms. What happened, Nick? Was it your whiskey dick? When I see you, it makes me sick. You're nothing but ego swarm. Your career is fucking died, 'cause our wife wasn't satisfied.
And that is what.
Well, well, well. How's it going, everybody? We're on a new night, Saturday night, same time though. Sort of the same time, 8:30 Central, 9:30 Eastern, and we don't care about the Pacific Islanders or PST, whatever California's on. We don't really care for them. We don't care for those kind. All right, we're gonna put tariffs on them. But welcome. I feel like there's a lot of catching up that I need to do. I feel like there's a lot of things, a lot of things in the world of Rekieta that's been happening while I took this 2-week break. First of all, thank you for the super chat. Really appreciate that. Colin Christensen, I gave you a nice heart for that. Appreciate it. So Rekieta apparently, and I just got this off of Kiwi Farms, will be streaming, allegedly, in about 20 minutes, supposedly. Or maybe he already streamed. I'm not really that sure. Regardless, I hope he hasn't streamed yet, because then, well, we can stream snipe him. But yesterday here, this was yesterday, Rekieta apparently posted, it was yesterday, wasn't it? I don't know, allegedly, but he posted this, right? He said there would be a locals exclusive hangout. Oh boy. He said I got a family Easter and I've been cooking for a live stream on YouTube and Rumble at 9 p.m. Central. So apparently he was going to do this at 9 Central, which would be, about 20 minutes from now, right? And this was posted at about 4 hours ago. By this person over here in the Rekieta thread. So presumably he's going to, or maybe he already did, because then, come to find out, you come over here, apparently he already had a local show or something. I suppose. Well, they got the TLDR basically, or too long didn't watch in this situation. Now, regardless of if Rekieta goes live or not, which again, I'm hoping he does. I hope this wasn't, the spectacular return stream. We got a whole lot of tweets that I want to look over. We got a whole lot of clips that I want to look over. And most importantly, there's a whole lot of Rekieta cope that I want to do in that famous, beautiful voice that I use so elegantly. I think a lot of people like that. So apparently, here are the locals highlights of Nicky the Nose. So the chat comments on Nick's low weight, and he blames the appetite suppression of wait, he unironically does this? That's fucking, it's a little crazy, pal. Okay, all right, he wants to go with that. And then he repeats the belief that drugs should be legal because only hurting people with those substances like alcohol, being on probation as he is now, does not change that belief. I can't believe he's saying this. I'm not doubting that this is pretty accurate or whatever, but I would really wish that there were like clips or something, or I could hear it from the horse's mouth, all right? Or the nose's mouth in this instance. Let's see what else. Lots of people in his social circles knew all about the cocaine. He was never outright about it because he wanted legal deniability. That this deniability did not help him in the end because some people made up bullshit that caused it a rape. Oh boy. All right, that one's kind of... man, you really got to give Rekieta a little bit of a leg to stand on with that one. Do you even want to, though? Because here's the thing. I could kind of believe that certain people in a cabal knew Rekieta had cocaine addictions, or at least partook in the cocaine. All right, as much as I don't like Nick, as much as I know you don't, we can't pretend like people didn't really know. Come on, like we know Yellow Flash knew, right? Like we're not pretending like he didn't, right? Like, let's be honest here. All right, so obviously people didn't know that, or did know that Rekieta was not the most upfront, honest, stand-up, trad dad human being that he could be. But, hey man, look. I guess we could give a partial point to Rekieta on that. I suppose. All right. So, Pastor Melon. What a fucking name. Pastor Melon. That's presumably the person that got Nick in trouble, perhaps, and mayhaps. Pastor Melon sent a letter to Nick saying he was no longer his pastor and was a general dick with nothing nice to say about him. Okay. Funny? Okay. Nick does not have the whole report, and there was more than he is still learning about. The leaker broke the law to leak it. Okay. The reporters who got him raided were not from the church. Nick knows who they are. Each of the reports had some truth, but were still lies. It was motivated by their concern about his relationship with April. Oh, we all remember April Amhold, the ape. All right, she's nowhere to be seen now. She's gone. All right, that was Rekieta's summer fling, whatever. She was part of the Quober gang. All right, she's gone. All right, you're never seeing her again. She's no longer a reoccurring character in this story. She's just fucked off. All right, it's over. Goodbye, April. Goodbye. The ape will not be missed. They got the government to police his personal relationship. Remember, always blame the government, chat. One person supposedly told the police that their goal in reporting was to take the children away. Oh no! Per Nick. Nick was close contact with these people at all time. The sermon that Melon, that's the pastor, had for Easter. For Easter? Had for Easter. Easter, Kiwi. Easter. That some theorize was directed at Nick was not, because he would have prepared it weeks in advance, per Nick. The chat is twisting religion then. So let's see what we got here. This person says most people that don't do drugs are less Christian that do drugs. We should make the 10 Commandments more illegal than drugs. People that commit perjury and hate should be... What the... Okay, buddy. Like, God will send them to hell eventually. So we still got only the most stable of human beings on Rekieta's chat. And you got the Bible says not to get the law involved and handle things privately. A pastor should know better. And that's an unforgivable sin. They'll burn for eternity. All right. Well, interestingly enough, I guess that's it. And then apparently this person's saying... patiently waiting for Minnesota Public Records to pull out some wild shit. Can't believe people in his chat are so fucking dense. I guess they're talking about Rekieta. So I'm gonna go ahead and take a shot in the dark and say that Rekieta went live earlier today, but maybe he's still going live later. I'm doing the catch-up game right now. I mean, I know there's a lot of clips. I know I have iDubbbz and that content stuff. They're just little side dramas, really. You know, realistically, the iDubbbz situation is... I feel like it's very basic bitch, very surface level, and just doesn't really mean a whole lot, really. Unless you really hate one or the other, unless you really hate Hassan and iDubbbz, or unless you really hate Ethan Klein. But we'll see. Maybe it'd be a nice little time staller, if anything. That's why I put it there. I much prefer... the 4chan leaks that came out, realistically, because then it later came out, well, we'll just take a quick look at this, and then we'll go back into Nick, because we've only really scratched the surface when it comes to him. So, 4chan got hacked. Why am I telling you this? I'll just read it from this lovely account by Prince. First says 4chan got hacked by the shorty. Now, I'm going to be real with you. I have no idea why they call themselves that. I have no idea why anybody calls them that. But whatever. It kind of sounds cool, I guess. They restored QA. They leaked the Janny's passwords, their IRC, the site slowing down. Massive. Ended up happening. All right. Leaked all the emails of the Jannies. Biggest thing happening. A lot of people went ahead and they were like, well, this is the feds, all right? The feds are in charge. 4chan hack, Janny's emails leaked. A bunch of them used their real names and their email addresses and the EDU, all right? Even our good friend Optimus got in on this. At 4chan hacked entire source code access, admins exposed and docs. Some own the .edu and government addresses. This will be contested later on. Private band reasons exposed, user IP info obtained, yada, you get it. You get it. So everybody having a good time. 4chan coming down. Even Daddy Jim himself. All right, he has so much to offer with his insight. But, you know, there is a little thing called community notes that exists because of the great Elon Musk. All right, I heard he's a very based man, being 50 years old and acting like a Zoomer. It's very cool. Like my friend Slug, who's almost 30 years old, and he acts like a Zoomer as well. And that's just awesome. So, you have a very based man named Elon Musk, who's introduced community notes for everybody. All right. And community notes was essentially made in order to provide context to dispel misinformation, essentially. Now, some people have argued that community notes have been abused and have been used for the wrong. A good example would be people like Venti. Venti got community noted a couple times after going after lolicons. Some people that were anti-lolicon not like that, and suddenly community notes made no sense to them. It's worth noting, most of these people were right-wingers and conservatives. Funny. It's funny. It's funny when this happens. Take that as you will. Community notes over here says that there were no government email addresses leaked. But people are saying that it was confirmed that they were using .gov. You gotta separate the fake news from the real news, pal. But one of the main selling points for these 4chan leaks were supposedly, it's used by the government, so you can't trust it. It's brainwashing the masses. But apparently now there's a community notes just counteracting that. 4chan itself, I believe this is the official 4chan account, just posted this shit. Whatever the fuck it meant. It's a cat holding a fucking mug in front of a laptop or a screen, whatever. Okay, that's fine. Got some other stuff here from the official kiwifarms account. It says one of the 4chan janitors appears to be a transgender MTF who also runs or is admin for Guro-chan, Gentai site specifically dedicated to pornographic gory. Yeah, let's call it gory. So there's that, you know. All I can say is, well, freaks running something on the internet, nothing new. Pretty much just every day of the week. All right, there's nothing new. Same shit. There's some Elon news, like him going ahead. He's rewriting the direct message system, so now you'll be able to delete messages, and they'll be able to delete messages, and it's whatever. It's a little workaround. This came after he tried to slide in DMs of some Asian chick called Tiffany Fong or whatever, and now there's going to be a remove DM option. I'm sure that has nothing to do with anything, and that's just a complete coincidence, just like these other 3 events. Just a coincidence we pretend we do not see, we do not question. Anyway, let the griff live on, baby. Back to Rekieta, because that's the only thing I'm actually truly this interested in. It made me come back to stream. There's a lot of catching up to do, and of course, as per usual, we got this. All right, we got an entire archive of bullshit at this point. All right, we got the Elisa clips. Apparently, uncivil law, Kurt, potentially criminal, Sean. Even Aaron M. Holte, everybody joining in on Rekieta's death, or presumably, well, not literal death. I mean, like his career death. I don't even know what to call it. I don't know if Rekieta will ever be revived after this point. Most likely not. This is the whole squadron. All right, as the Kino Casino called it, the Avengers of Law 2 or whatever. All right, so there's a couple things here to note. I want to go over a couple of these clips. Why not? There was Ethan Van Sciver here, blah, 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 blah. Just a bunch of shit. All right. I'll keep reading this, and I won't actually read some of Rekieta's tweets themselves, because I don't think has this guy tweeted since, let's see. Yeah, so this was his stream, his little setup stream. I guess we'll run down a couple of the tweets that worked out with this or what happened. Okay. So, up until April 15, he was just fighting with Aaron M. Holt. I made this speculation that he's just doing this to stay relevant, essentially, with Aaron, and then they're just fighting each other. That's pretty much it. Then the bombshell, if you want to call it that, came out. The Rekieta is going to be sentenced to 30 days in jail. Why am I reading this? Let's read it here. Nick Rekieta to plead guilty, recommended by pre-sentence investigation report to serve 30 days in jail with credit for 2 days served, 5 years of probation, 80 hours of community service. Rekieta's attorney asked for 1 year probation and no jail time. So people were saying Nick Rekieta sentenced to 30 days in county, 5 years in probation. Pretty much what everybody was saying right here. It's on paper. Even attorneys on the interwebs, like Legal Mindset, going ahead and saying Rekieta's trial arc comes to a close with 30 days in the Candy, Ohio County Jail, 5 years of probation, and the judge fully ignored the pleas for leniency from Nick's supporters. Silence from those who predicted not 1 day in jail, especially Nick. Because remember, Nick told us he wasn't going to serve any days in jail. Freaking Robert Barnes. I don't know what the fuck Robert Barnes. I don't think he said anything. Viva Frey, if you guys remember, Robert Barnes, Viva Frey said, you know, everything was gonna go fine. Apparently it didn't go fine. But of course, we got the king himself basically refuting these claims. He himself says that the reporting is incorrect and incomplete. Then he says a quick little joke. I guess a Minnesota lawyer will have to explain it. Come watch my new show, Actually Criminal, tonight. Time to be determined, or to be announced. And that was yesterday. That was on Friday. You said this early in the morning. Well, not so early. 11:46 a.m. Whatever. So, Rekieta, I guess, doing a little self-deprecating joke, kind of, trying to make everybody think, hey, guys, I'm still the funny guy. I can take a joke. And he's been doing this quite a bit. He's been doing this new thing where he should have done this a while ago. He should have... I think this would have worked better had he not gone on that whole "you're a dork" Blockfest, and then proceeded to wish death upon multiple people on his like local streams. I feel like if he didn't do any of that, this self-deprecation bullshit that he's trying now would have worked. So if he had just flipped it around, right? If he had done the self-deprecation first before, you know, the death threats and calling everybody a nerd and a dork and just, you know, blocking them, this probably would have been better. So, okay, this person said, not a good look when you already plead guilty, or do you want your PO to know this? So Rekieta says, hence the actually criminal part. This person says, why are they incapable of comprehending humor? Well, probably because Nick at this point has wished death on multiple people for, you know, talking about him. So it's... you know, that kind of just answers itself. Here's Robert Barnes. Here's a clip from Robert Barnes. See what the hell he has to say.
Can't do a drinking game with these things because you'll get drunk like a Minnesota lawyer. So that's ill-advised.
Okay. Well, I guess that's the shot at Nick, maybe? I don't know. I don't know the context of this, to be honest. If he had said it just now, it's kind of funny. Person says, glad to see you back, and I hope all is well with you and your family. Seen a post mentioning you and referencing the Karen Reid trial. I have to ask if you will be covering that trial by any chance. So where Nick says, possibly. It seems like a good one. So, all right, Rekieta giving people, you know, the false sense of hope that he's going to come back, you know. First says, locals only, or will you be on YouTube too? And Rekieta says that he'll be on YouTube and Rumble. Now keep in mind, again, this was yesterday. So, let's see. I'll do a quick little check and see if the Baldo has gone live, because we are now at 9:01 Central, I believe. So let's see. Rekieta Law. Okay. Well, I still haven't seen anything pop up. If you just go to Rekieta Law, the only thing you will go ahead and see is a bunch of anti-Rekieta videos. So, yeah, I don't know. I don't see anything from the Baldo King, right? So we got nothing. We got nothing on the lives. The only thing we got is 2 months ago. This, whatever the fuck this is. And then 7 months ago, we got this, whatever the fuck this is. So it hasn't been, it's been a hot minute. It's been a hot minute. Okay, well, whatever. We'll just wait and see. All right, we'll wait and see. Thank you, Belinda, for gifting 5 hats, all made in the USA, baby. Okay, we don't give any of those Chinese hats. We only get American made. All right, that's all we got. Because Baldo hasn't gone live. I guess he's not going live. I don't know. We'll stumble upon something at some point. There's too much fucking shit to go over right now. But let's see. What else is happening? Oh, right. This one. This one was funny because this person was actually trying to help Nick. But I said this in my video. Nick is so fucking wet-brained. His mind has been deteriorated from drugs and alcohol. He doesn't even understand when somebody is trying to help him. So this person named Michael just says, would people that hate you lied and celebrated like winning the Super Bowl? Never. And Rekieta just said, huh? doesn't understand what the fuck he's talking about. Again, this person is trying to glaze Nick, essentially, help him out, give him a witty retort. Nick is so, again, wet brain. He is so wet brain. He is so mentally incapacitated at this point from the copious amounts of drugs that he has taken that he doesn't know when somebody's on his side. Like, this is scary, bro. He doesn't understand it. Like, what? So Michael, our good friend Michael, with this nice little whatever, is this Club Penguin? Whatever. He goes ahead and he says, I was referring to the guy on Divinity Said stream. I don't know who the fuck Divinity Said is. I think the Kino Casino do, and they've been like promoting them. I guess that's a thing. Maybe. He has lied and now showing a self-indulgent partying, stating you are definitely going to prison. Like watching a skinny version of a potentially criminal. So apparently everybody is giddy with excitement to see Nick go to jail. I can't imagine why that would be the case. I can't imagine why people that have seen a fucking narcissistic, power-tripping maniac for the last 6 years going to jail and being humbled by Bubba and Tyrone would ever bring them any glee in their life. I wonder why, Michael. I wonder why that could be. Oh, buddy. Whoa, buddy. All right. Person says Bronca is still attending since he is, but I don't know who the fuck Bronca is. Somebody went in my comment section and said that Bronca is, I don't know, close with Nick, or they were doing so. I don't know. I don't know who this Bronca person is. But Rekieta just says Bronca's appearance will be deferred. I don't know, man. So he just says YouTube and Rumble. Okay, you get the point. All right, you get the point. This was Rekieta yesterday. We fast forward a little bit after this. He goes ahead. Now, this was, I believe, like the middle of the night. You can even call it the next day because I believe it was in the AM hours. Rekieta goes ahead and he quote tweets himself. Wait, no, this is the wrong tweet. No, this was a follow-up. He just wanted to talk about people's weights. Okay, no, it's this one. It was this one. It's 21 hours. So he goes ahead and he tweets out that he was working out a technical difficulty with audio, and then he would start the dream or the stream. If only there was a dream. He would start the stream after, and that he was sorry for the delay. This is very weird, and every fucking time there's always a technical difficulty with Nick. Why the fuck is that? Why is there always a technical difficulty with this guy? So he goes, I don't know if he's being like lying, if he's joking. I don't know if this was supposed to be a funny bit. I wasn't feeling it. So then later on, he just quote tweets this again, and he's like, actually, we're going to do this tomorrow, late and very unhetero. So apparently he announced this in midnight or something. It depends on where Kelly over here is from. He says, dude, midnight's a little late to announce you're having technical difficulties. Also, I'll be in church tomorrow night. Come on, man. Rekieta just says, sorry, I was working on them for a long time. So, whatever. This verse says, never fail to disappoint. Why stop what you're best at? Verse says, lie detected, too drunk to stream, pussy. To where the Rekieta says, I get UA tested, so I hope not. Again, this is what I mean. This self-deprecating fucking stupid shit that he's doing. If he would have done this before the block spree, the death threats, the threatening to copyright strike people, if he would have done that before all this shit, this would have hit more. This would have been better.
Tired of feeding your kids? Tired of your wife's depression getting in the way of your love life with your friend's wife? Better call Baldo.
Thank you, Gigi. Appreciate it. Good to see you. Good to see you. Better call Baldo, indeed. He is really, Nick, he's really a total wreck, isn't he? I feel like there will never be a way for him to go back to that level that he was at. I don't think so. I think he's missed that window of opportunity personally. Let's see. Are you that scared of what the documents are going to be dropped? No. You think your viewers are going to believe that? They've seen hundreds of your streams. You know, you know what you're doing. I think they know what you're doing. So apparently people are speculating Nick was doing like cocaine or heroin or some stupid shit, some kind of drug. So Rekieta quote tweets him again, quote tweets himself for like the third time, and he says, everything is set up to stream Saturday. Sorry about the delay. Had some audio issues to work out. We're part software, part hardware, and mostly user related. So basically, he was taking drugs. he was on drugs and he was just drinking a bunch of booze, basically. Yeah, that's what you you understand. You see that? So the last time Rekieta tweeted was about 7 hours ago, and he just talked about this, so a little more self-deprecation, I believe. And before that, it was 11 hours ago. Other than that, Baldo has been quiet. Baldo is nowhere to be seen. He's just kind of gone right now. So again, I don't know if this guy is actually going to go live. I don't know what's happening with him. I hope he does so that we can stream snipe him. I hope he didn't go live already. Oh, it's not like a exclusive members only thing, because God, that would be fucking terrible. But, you know, let's see. Let's see if there's anything on kiwifarms at the moment. I'll refresh the page. Let's refresh. Clips are coming out. Oh, thank fucking God. Okay. Jesus, 30 minutes ago. Oh, thank fucking God. Okay. All right. Awesome. All right. Let's see. What is this? Give me this. Yes. Oh. No. Oh, this is awesome. All right. 22 minutes of the shit. Oh my God. Bro. Thank you so much. I don't know. Stalin 19, I think this is. This is the thing. Yeah, over here. Oh, this is a clipper, I believe. This over here. Yeah. Okay. So, much appreciated. Thank you for 1 hour ago.
Hey, what's up, guys?
We got 22 glorious minutes of Nick Rekieta. Apparently, I guess this was the stream. Believe this was the stream. I don't know. Well, fuck it. We'll just work with this for now and we'll progress. So we'll see what the law tubers think of Rekieta's downfall. We'll see what Jersh thinks of Rekieta's downfall. We'll see. Well, we got a lot of catching up to do on this fella. You know, send a like in the meantime, etc., etc. You already know what to do. Hey, let's get right into this. Right off the bat, though, if I may offer a critique, yeah, what? He is not looking in the best shape, is he? All right, maybe better than his ghoul look that he was sporting, you know, when he was really taking the fucking shit, like he was hardcore into the drugs. Sure, but yeah, I don't know. Something just seems off. Something feels off. Something looks off. What is wrong with? Something's wrong. All right, whatever. Let's just play this shit.
Hey, what's up, guys? How's it going? That initial document that was leaked with my pastor's name on it. Well, not really my. Actually, he sent me a thing that says he was no longer my pastor. What a dick. That guy could get. By the way, nothing nice to say about him at all.
Whoa. See, this is what I mean, dude. You can't start with, like, the self-deprecation on Zitter, but then be like, oh, this guy could go, you know, Dear John himself, essentially, you know, like, quote one of Rekieta's greatest hits.
But he sent me a thing that says he was no longer my pastor. What a dick. That guy could get. By the way, nothing nice to say about him at all. But so the document, though, that revealed the pastor's name and one of Kayla's sisters as the people who reported it, unredacted. I don't have that. That is actually would be illegal for the state to give me that document unredacted. The way.
You know what I just thought as I'm watching this, though? anytime Nick says any bit of legal advice, would this even be considered legal advice? Whatever, any type of legal mumbo jumbo, anytime anything leaves his, I wonder how many people in attendance or people that are watching him will stop for a second and be like, I better Google this real quick, pal, just to make sure he's not lying, he's not fibbing. You gotta understand, Rekieta's credibility, right? Not even as an entertainer, okay? Not even as just an e-celeb. His credibility as an actual attorney, one of the things he had that he could fall back on, even if his entire e-celeb presence died out, that's been freaking destroyed. It has been eviscerated, not only by him, but by the people that were closest to him before. That goes for, you know, that was the farmers, Josh Moon, the law tubers, you know, I mean, just appearances on Camelot's stream alone. Like, again, this is part of him killing his own credibility. Just that, the appearances he did on Patrick Melton's stream, you know, not only for like the optics, the negative optics on that one, but he's just killed his entire LawTube credibility. Just his credibility as a any type of attorney. Really, who the fuck will hire this guy? Who the fuck will think, other than as a meme or some shit, who thinks I want Nick Rekieta as my fucking attorney? Like, this guy doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about. I will stay a little humble, but I will also remind everybody that I was the one that was saying this. That's right. That's right. 18-year-old me called this shit. When was it that everything started? I mean, it might have been earlier than 20. I always want to say it's 2019. It was 2019. But it might have been 2018. It was around that period, though. Glorious period of Weeb Wars. It's the first one to tell all you. This guy is a fucking idiot, by the way. Alright, never mind the shady fucking bullshit that he pulls. Alright, he's a fucking idiot. Everybody was like, no, you just want to be on his show. Yo, I so totally still want to be on Rekieta's show. No, wait. I'll do one better. Rekieta, come on mine. Alright, I'll treat you right, alright? I'll treat you better than all the other people that have fucked you at this point, because let's be honest, even that pedophile Patrick Melton has fucked you. So, I mean, come on, Rekieta. Alright, make a little deal with the devil, alright? Just for one appearance. Alright, what could possibly go wrong? Oh, buddy, man, shit. Right down the shitter. Right down the shitter. Okay. Keep playing it.
Way it was leaked out the day after I was arrested. That leaking is actually illegal. Whoever did that violated Minnesota statutes that were supposed to protect the people reporting. But just to give people an idea of why at the beginning of this, I was so incensed at what happened and how it came about. At the end of the day, of course, I'm the guy who had the cocaine in his house. So it's my fault. That's on me. But if you complain about something, that doesn't mean that the other things that happened aren't true. But at the beginning of this, I was very...
Okay, this is where he started to become kind of tardy. All right, like, so that part where he apologized, or where he did that sacred rule, oh, I'm taking accountability, homie. You should have done that months ago, you fucking idiot. I swear to God, you know how many gullible dumb fucks would have bought your bullshit if you would have given him them. You know how many specters would have bought your bullshit if you would have given them this response months ago. But you didn't, because you're a fucking idiot. Because your mind has been so fucking deteriorated. Nick, I don't think people understand this. I knew you at your prime. I knew you before you were anybody. I knew you when you were growing, when you used Vic Mignogna as a stepping stool to further your own fucking career, along with everybody else. My old mentor, Yellow Flash, Hero Hey. I was there. I was the only one that didn't want to do the bullshit you guys were doing. And it shows, because I've had to scrape my way to the top and then fuck myself a couple times here and there with some controversial takes. But I'm the only one that didn't do your bullshit. Right, Nick? I sound like Nick right now. I'm like, right, John? I'll cut it short. I won't go into these long-winded tangents. I'll just put it like this. You are really no longer that guy, are you? Because old Nick at his prime, you know, the one that fucked me over, if he would have seen this one right now, he would have laughed in your face. And what was that famous little phrase you used to say, Nick? Ha ha ha, how embarrassing. Yeah, that's what that Nick would be doing right now. Damn. Don't do drugs, kids.
Very angry for lots of reasons. Now I just wanted it to be done and was ready for it to be done. I've been looking forward to Friday since January. Now the jail thing was a little bit of a surprise. The thing that makes you mad is that the people who made the reports, people think that is people from our church. They were not. I know exactly who all of them are. And the crazy thing is, every single story that was reported as part of that initial report, the report that got the cops to start investigating me, which then led to them seeing the live stream, in which I had a really shitty day and stupidly used substances to try and compensate for that while going live.
Wait a minute. Didn't he say that it wasn't true? Didn't he say that he never, he was not on substances and he was perfectly fine? Because you know what stream we're talking about. You know what stream he's referencing right now. Didn't he? I don't know. Remind me. I might just be a little off here to not remember. Didn't he? Did he say that he was fine? That he was perfectly sober? I could have sworn he did. Well, now he's saying that he actually, guys, I had a really bad day. You know, so I had to do copious amounts of drugs, so I'm neglecting my responsibility as a father that I presented myself on the internet to get your money and support off of. So I feel like that's a lot of shit he's overlooking. I feel like he still does not understand, you know, why people have gotten so offended, angry with him. To be fair, I don't think even people like Warski or PPP really understand either. It's not so much about it's more like Rekieta has lied his entire shitty fucking career being someone he's not to try to get as much money that he didn't need, by the way, as much fame that he also didn't need as he possibly could, while again pissing and spitting on everybody he can along the fucking way. That's the main issue with Mr. Nick Rekieta here. You know, it's not even so much that he's a shitty dad, a fucking clown, that he's mauling and seething. It goes a little deeper than that, right? And of course, you know, like the numerous death threats and false allegations he spreads, but yeah, that's somewhere in the middle. In the middle. The real deep thing about this wasn't a little white lie. You know? It's not a little white lie. Some people want to make little white lies into big deals for this ultimate fucking gotcha. This isn't one of those cases. With Nick Rekieta, it is hundreds upon hundreds of lies that he's used to further his career, his undeserved popularity, his undeserved money, his undeserved status on the YouTube hierarchy. That's what it's about. And hey, if you don't believe good old Sen, go to the fucking farms, because they couldn't have made 8,000 plus pages if it wasn't true, Jack. 8,000 pages plus dissecting every single fib that comes out of this fig's mouth. Getting a little passionate here. Remember why I would do this. It is quite fun sometimes to get a little passionate on the interwebs.
Bad choice. Very, very bad choice. But the people who reported that, the stories that they told, the ones that are out there, like me driving lethargic and then excited, like lethargic and high is what it said. They're all based on truth, and they're all knowing lies that were generated by people who had no idea about.
They're based on truth, and they're, wait a minute, please rewind that. I gotta see what the fuck he said.
They're all based on truth, and they're all
knowing lies that were generated
knowing lies that were generated by people who had
no idea about any drug use at all. So what he's saying is that it was true, but it was used, but people didn't know it was true, so that means it shouldn't be taken as truth. What the fuck is he trying to say? Dude, I'm trying my fucking hardest. Oh god, we're only 2 minutes into this shit. And I swear to fucking god, alright, I know I'm skibbity, illegitimate, whatever, discount Jim, but I'm not stupid here, am I, right? This guy has to be, like, what the fuck is he trying to say?
no idea about any drug use at all.
Am I too skibbity in the brain right now? What's going on? Like, what the fuck is he trying to say?
They actually were suspicious of my relationship with April. So they decided to use that to involve the government to police my relationship decisions.
Okay. Okay, I'm gonna reserve my thoughts for a little bit. Let's just let him keep talking.
And I'm not joking. In fact, one of the people directly involved told the CPS investigators that their purpose was to, because of the suspected relationship, take the children away from Kayla and I.
Well, gee, I wonder why people thought that you having a polyamorous relationship with another cokehead, with your cokehead wife, in front of a bunch of your children would, would be not such a good thing, right? It seems like he's trying to paint this, again, in classic Rekieta fashion as, see, I'm the good part. I've been wronged in this situation. It's like, dude, their concerns, regardless, are warranted, right? Really, let's paint the picture here. What it is. Rekieta is a drug addict and an alcoholic. He has a drug addict wife that watches Star Trek reruns. He then introduces a strange couple, including Aaron M. Halt and the ape, April, who's also a cokehead, into his relationship, where he has sex in the same house that his children sleep in. Oh god, okay, so when you put the facts together, gee, I wonder why they would want you to not have access to your children. Gee, I wonder why. That doesn't really paint a pretty picture, does it? Mr. Trad Dad, conservative father, does it? Does it, Nick? Man, that nose just keeps a-growing, huh? Oh my god, this is insane, bro. This is, I hope I'm reading this wrong. I know I'm not actually reading. I hope I'm absorbing this wrong, because if I'm right on the money, this is not a good response. This is actually an awful, horrible, terrible response. Why the hell are you? All right, I have too many questions. All right, just maybe he'll explain them in the next minute or so. Let's just keep it going.
That's what happened. Those people, I don't know when to talk about this. I have to have close contact with those people all the time. And it was not our church congregation. I know that Aaron's talked about that a lot. Like, oh, the church was staring at us reading the Bible. If this retard thinks that a pastor wrote a sermon based on something that he might have noticed the week prior, that he wrote his Easter sermon, because it was Easter, was the church service that Aaron talks about a lot, where he felt super judged by everybody. That was all him. Like, that's just in his head. Pastors write their sermons, especially for big days like Easter, months ahead of time. They're not just winging it on the fly. But yeah, it's been a long year, because again, at the end of the day, it was still me who had the stuff. Like, that shouldn't have resulted in what it did. And there's some suspicious stuff still about the warrant, but hey, we lost his arguments in court. I don't think they were very well made. I don't want to shit on my lawyer. Lawyering's a really, really hard job.
Oh my god. Remember how Rekieta said in one of the streams that he did, because he was feeling so cocky, he said that lawyers, you know, you give them the magic words and then they use the magic words. There's got to be a fucking meme about this. I think this third world aristocrat person made multiple memes about this. One of them was there. What the fuck? Just what the fuck? Okay.
That's why I don't want to do it. That's why I'd much rather do this. This is much more natural for me. Lawyering's a very, very difficult job, and sometimes things get missed. And
damn it, Nick, we lost the case. Actually, I want to show you this. I don't remember who made this, but I thought it was the funniest shit ever. Damn it, Nick, we lost the case again. There it is. There, our good old friend. Oh, Ty Beard. Ty Beard. Ty Beard, where you at? Where's Ty Beard been? All right, he used to share. Damn it, Nick, we lost the case. Oh, man, good times. Good times. Good fucking times, huh, Ty? Remember how you lost that fucking case for Vic Mignogna? You know, Nick was buttering Vic up to be like, you're totally gonna win. You're totally gonna win this. All right. I know a great attorney called Ty Beard. Oh, shit, man. It always comes back to Weeb Wars for some reason. It always comes back to Weeb Wars. Bye, Ty. Let's see if Baldo is going live yet, all right? I am so fucking... Oh, well, it looks like he hasn't... No new posts, nothing going on here. Okay, so I guess we'll have to... Let's go to Baldo's Twitter account. Let's see if he said anything here. Nope, 7 hours ago, still nothing. All right. Let's just go back here, I guess. It's a very difficult job, and sometimes things get missed. Okay.
Sometimes things aren't as well written because in your head, you know what you want to say. Since you know the narrative, when you write the thing down, you're like, no, I said what I needed to say. And then someone else reads it and they're like, nope, I don't get this at all. The judge clearly didn't even get the argument that we were making. But at the same time, I don't think...
Why is it that Nick always loses his, like, court cases? It seems like every time this guy touches something legally, it always ends in, like, failure. Why is that? Can anybody tell me why Nick Rekieta's legal cases always end in failures? Is there a reason for that? Can you explain that?
I think we were going to get the warrant thrown out. This is a very small county, and the judge going against any part of a drug raid jeopardizes just about everything. There was some shady stuff about the warrant, and there's still stuff in discovery that we never got. Stuff that actually matters. I will probably at some point go through some of the audio and video stuff from my case to illustrate.
Oh, Jesus. Okay. I guess translation, you want to keep being farmed by literally everybody on the internet. Cool. Awesome, dude. Keep it up. Good job, Nick. Have another drink. You've earned it.
Specifically these types of instances.
I swear to God, everybody is going to farm this guy for content at this point. It's like, what the fuck are you doing? Why are you continuing to move on? Move on. Go back to your court bullshit. Your boring, bland court bullshit. Just go back. Stop focusing on this case. It's not... Nothing you say at this point will resonate with a large majority of people to say Nick Rekieta was in the right. And you know what the sad part is, Nick? I'm sure there's some shady characters that are going at you right now as well. I know nobody, like not everybody in the anti-Rekieta bandwagon is clean. You know, like Craterface, your old second in command Spectre. I know. But you know what the sad part is, Rekieta? It doesn't matter. Because enough people know about you, enough people gave a shit about you, and enough people hate you. So all they're going to focus on is ripping you apart, while people like Spectre and other bad actors are going to get away with looking like good guys. When you know they're not, and I know they're not. But, you know, them's the breaks, pal.
The way, like, I was not treated poorly, don't get me wrong, but I was treated with an uncharacteristic hostility from the detective who was the lead, I guess the lead detective who did the home raid.
Well, you're a piece of shit, and it's easy to see. You know, you broadcast the bullshit you do on a regular. You're a literal piece of shit. Why wouldn't people be hostile against you? Are you that dense? Is there no self-awareness? Like, people say, I'm a piece of shit, right? But you take it one step further, bro. And again, you had, what was it? Hundreds and thousands of people at your whim. You had an entire LawTube cabal following everything you told them to do, like good little stooges, and you still just wanted more and more and more, and you kept being a piece of fucking garbage. You had every single thing, and you became your own worst enemy. I guess the moral of the story is, even though you had everything, you were still an obnoxious piece of shit that acted like he had nothing. So, you know, big fucking surprise that people didn't like you. Holy shit. Oh my God, why would anybody be hostile towards me? I don't know, Nick. I don't know why anybody. Have another drink. You fucking earned it.
One of my favorite moments during this stupid thing was I was in jail, and they wanted to ask me some more questions. So I said, okay. I said, I'm not going to answer anything that, you know, is a Fifth Amendment issue. Didn't really see any benefit to it, but I wanted to know what they were in, you know, what they knew. But the first thing the cop does is sitting across from me. He says, I got you. And here I am, black eye, right? I think at this point they have me in my blue jumpsuit. I'm strung out at this point because I was sober when I was arrested. That doesn't mean I had been sober the entire time, you know, leading up to that. So I'm just livid because I've had to endure like
that's another thing that he didn't admit to before, right? The whole, he never said he was under anything, right? He never even admitted any of this shit. I think he was going with the whole narrative that he was completely fine, and this was just the government against him and stuff, right? I hear all these revelations, all these concessions, if you will, where he's saying, well, you know, I was a little out of it before, guys. Like, I did have a little bit of that booger sugar in my system. Yeah. Now he's saying it. I don't believe he was saying it before. I think he was acting like he was a perfect little angel. Now all of a sudden, well, no, actually, I had a little bit of that in me.
Having my house searched and find out my kids are gonna, be taken away for a day. That's what we were told. Was that our kids would be taken away for a day just because we were gonna be, in jail overnight. So they bring me in for this interview, and he says, "I got."
Okay, so here's a hot take. Maybe people will take it as a hot take, but I think if you really think about it, you won't think it is. How much could Nick actually give a shit about his kids if he's literally going to have them around cocaine? Like, simple fucking question. Simple food for thought. How much could you possibly care about your children if you're gonna do that? Please enlighten me. Please tell the class. Hell, tell your fans, whatever's left of them. I think this is one of those uncomfortable questions that people don't want to optically step on because, my optics. But it's a question that you should be asking. How much do you actually give a shit? And you're still pretending? It's just a lot of pretender vibes coming from you. How much do you really care if you did all of these actions leading up to your arrest? How much do you care, Baldo man?
Got you. And I'm like, bro, I don't know anything about you. Have I been evading you? Have we been doing this dance for a while? They acted like I mattered. But they acted like I was Scarface or something. This guy had been investigating me, so
you know what a little peeve I have is when a narcissist, an egotistical one at that, like Nick, that's shown that he's a narcissist and egotistical on the internet like every fucking day of his life, goes ahead and he tries to do this little thing where it's like, I don't know why you're treating me like I'm a big deal. I mean, I go about acting like I'm a big deal on a regular on YouTube, but I don't know why you would try to act like that. It's like you're such a lying, condescending little prick. Like, you think these games are still gonna work? It's you're this, that, these little things that you do, Nick. They're the annoying part. It's like, why do you have to do that? Why do you have to do this? Again, I'm just gonna say it doesn't help that there's about 8,000 pages over here that perfectly illustrate what the fuck I'm talking about, right? In case anybody's like, "Oh, what do you mean, son? Can you provide proof of these claims?" Sure, go to Kiwi Farms, Nicholas Robert Rekieta, Rekieta Law, add Nick Rekieta. Go for it. Have fun. There's 8,000 plus worth of receipts. Go. Jesus Christ. Can you provide proof for you? Silly.
So now that he finally got me, it's like, according to his search warrant, mind you, he'd been investigating me for at most 7 days. But the way he talked about it was as if he had been after me for months, which is what he indicated to me at my house. And he made a phone call to April's mother, told April's mother that she was high, which they didn't drug test any of us. So like, that was he just made that up. She also wasn't high, but he also told April's mother that they'd been looking into me for months. Now I have no discovery about this. All those documents just
is Nick trying to make a, hey, I might be a corrupt lawyer, but these people were also corrupt? Is that what he's trying to do right now? Is this his grand defense? It's like, I might be a corrupt lawyer. It's like that fucking one meme. I might be this, and that, but at least I'm not a corrupt investigator or something. It's like, what is your argument here? What is your defense? What are you trying to get out of this? What is the end goal with this, Rekieta? Like,
don't exist. And that phone call also just doesn't exist. And I hate that it's taken.
To be honest, I'm gonna be real. Instead of doing this weird cope bullshit stream where he's just deflecting the entire time and has learned absolutely nothing, this fucking idiot would have been better off doing an interview with me. I'm not even capping, bro. I'm not even capping. This is just no. This is no. Why would you do this? Story of your life, I bet.
So long for me to start streaming, but it got to a point where eventually it was like, you've this far, you know that on April 18th, you're done. You know at that point that unless something crazy happens, you are being sentenced on April 18th. Just wait and don't anything up by talking. We were blindsided because...
And guess what? He didn't fucking listen.
The recommendation from the pre-sentence investigation of 28 days, so 30 days with 2 days already served, of jail time came out of nowhere. And my plea agreement specifically relied on this, that there'd be no further executed jail time. That was a huge part of our negotiations. Now, it didn't make it into my plea document. My lawyer was not available for that plea hearing. And so his law partner came out to help. He and I didn't have the same rapport and the same, the same amount of time spent with each other or anything like that. So I'm there pleading guilty to a felony, which is terrifying. If you've never done it, I don't recommend it. But so I reviewed the plea document, and in my head, it had, encapsulated the concept that there would be no further jail time. Because I was in the room with the prosecutor when she told my lawyer the state is not going to pursue further jail time. Like that happened. In my head now, like when I think back, I see that happening in the courtroom, but it didn't. I went through the transcript. 2 days ago, I would have swore to you that happened in court on the record, and it did not. I checked the transcript and it didn't. Well, it happened in the negotiation room. So when the pre-sentence investigation recommends this 28 days jail, that I thought, we had discussed there wasn't going to be any, I'm in full on panic mode because now,
so he's just explaining how everything was unfair to him or something. And like, what, again, I sure, I guess, but I mean, again, how many people actually give a shit? Really?
I find out like 3 or 4 days.
More to the point, how many people actually think you're telling the truth?
I found out before you guys, obviously, but only by a couple days. And so then, I went into full on panic mode because I now didn't know if I was going to go home on Friday. So that was a possibility for me. And that is terrifying. We got confirmation on Thursday that the state was not going to ask for for any more than the executed jail time. That was it was in the report, but the state wasn't going to ask for it. And then on Friday, we went to court. The judge still actually ignored the state, and he, it's not a sentence, it's a probation condition, but he added the probation condition of 28 days jail time, 30 minus the 2. However, what everybody missed, the deferment is that I will not go to jail.
Bum, bum, bum. All right. So is this the part where we're supposed to say everybody that said that Rekieta is going to jail is fake news spreaders? Is that what is that we're gonna go with? All right. Well, we'll find out after this water break, because yes, I do need a water break. All right. It's the return of the infamous water breaks. All right. Let me refresh this tab real quick and see if Baldo has gone live yet, or is he planning to go live? He is still not done any of this. Let me go ahead and refresh Baldo's Zitter account, see if he has said anything. Nope, he is still not said anything. All right, so then water break it is. I will be right back. I'm going to leave you with this song right here. It comes from Elisa's channel, but it is a shit post from kiwifarms originally. Where the hell is it? Where the hell is it? Oh, that's Sean playing a flute. Oh, here it is. Okay. So it's this lovely Baldo ain't streaming tonight, pal. All right. So we'll listen to this. I'll be right back. Water break. Shout out to you guys in chat right now. If you haven't sent the like, make sure you do. And then we'll get into more clips. I'll be right back.
It's almost 11, and there's still no stream. And Baldo ain't streaming tonight. It's almost 11, and there's still no stream. And Baldo ain't streaming tonight. It's 1 minute past 11, and there's still no stream. And Baldo ain't streaming tonight. It's 1 minute past 11, and there's still no stream. And Baldo ain't streaming tonight. It's already 11, there's still no stream. And Baldo ain't streaming tonight. It's no longer 11, and there's still no stream. And Baldo ain't streaming tonight. It's almost 11, and there's still no stream. And Baldo ain't streaming tonight. It's almost 11, and there's still no stream. And Baldo ain't streaming tonight. It's almost 11, and there's still no stream. And Baldo ain't streaming tonight. It's 1 minute past 11, and there's still no stream. And Baldo ain't streaming tonight. It's 1 minute past 11, and there's still no stream. And Baldo ain't streaming tonight. It's already 11, and there's still no stream.
Yeah, buddy. Okay. So I don't think he's going to go live. I'm just take a shot in the dark and say this guy is probably not going to go live, and he's probably fucked up. No, I spoke too soon. All right. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, it looks like it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. We just gotta kill 38 minutes, which is perfect because I think we can. And then we got the actually criminal, not a comeback, but a comeuppance, or whatever the fuck that means. So we got 30 minutes to go. The Baldo, holy shit. Honestly, guys, I didn't think we were gonna actually go through with the stream snipe. I was like, this guy, there's no way, right? After this fucking shit show, there's just no fucking way, right? Well, I love like this person right here just says, "Who is ready for this shit show?" Immediately echoes my statements right here. Yo, this is gonna be a lit. We'll love every sec, dude. Up until this point, I've dissected Baldo while he's not live, done it while he's, you know, little clips, and I shout out to the Clippers. This is the first time in a while we get to dissect this guy live. We did it to Camelot. That was pretty fucking hilarious. I'm not gonna lie. It's very fun and very funny. Now I get to see Baldo, bro. Oh my god. Oh, okay. So 36 minutes and counting. We'll get to that. Is everybody excited? Is Chad excited? We're gonna go ahead. We're gonna stream Snipe Baldo. Holy shit! Holy shit, chat! My night has just been epically made. Okay, let me see if there's any updates on the farmers. All right, on the farmers' end, they're just chatting amongst themselves, and we got word that Rekieta will be going on. This person says, in reply to her, the government leaked documents and spread lies about him. Again, the document he is seething about being leaked was leaked by Melton, okay? Patrick Melton. You would know Patrick Melton as Rekieta's once pedophilic attack dog, who now, I guess, I mean, I've been gone for a long time, all right? Apparently, Melton turned on him from little bits and pieces that I gathered. Melton turned on Nick or something of that sort. I don't know. That's what I had heard. So does Melton not carry any blame for this? Why isn't Melton part of the plot Nick has constructed in his head? Replying to all-seeing waifu saying Nick was surprised about the 30-day jail sentence because his plea relied on a verbal understanding of no jail time. It was not in the actual plea document, though. It was the judge who broke this. He did it on his own as a probation condition. And Nick called people stupid for not reading his sentence that he admits in the next sentence he was confused by the wording and had to ask for clarification. Baldo Gates says, interestingly, Nick confirmed beforehand that the state was seeking 5 years probation, but didn't put that in the plea agreement. But according to him, the 30 days was never mentioned. This suggests even more that Nick's performance during the PSIR was so abysmal that he talked himself into jail time. Holy shit. Holy shit, chat. I gotta do my Diorio impression. Holy shit, chat. Shout out Nick Diorio. All-seeing waifu says it will be hard for him to find fun again because he had to get rid of the things he liked doing, like video games for reasons. Some of it involves other people and he cannot talk about it. Now the government is telling him he cannot do what he thinks is fun now. Sounds like someone bitched at Nick about his hobbies. He will have to learn how to care about new things. And then Baldo's Gate says April would have let him play EverQuest. Then user Melty Butter says, so fucking delusional. Hey Nick, 8 fucking days before you were arrested, the church reported you for possible child neglect, including worries about leaving a church mid-service, driving intoxicated, and weight loss, along with worries for the kids. People, even lowly Scandinavian prudes for whom you regard yourself as superior in Spicer, Minnesota, are not idiots. Baldo's Gate says, I believe that Nick actually believes the only way people could figure out that he was doing drugs is if he offered them drugs. If they claim they knew he was doing drugs, they must be lying and making it up to try to get his kids he drives around hundreds of miles a day taken away, even though he now freely admits he was in fact doing drugs for 2 years. That's what I was saying, bro. That's what I was saying. Was I not telling you? This seems weird because it seems like Nick was trying to put on this image of the perfect little angel. This is what I mean. This is not a white lie. All right. Some people want to say, oh, actually, you know, you lied about picking your nose one time, Sen. It's like, bro, like, really? Really? You guys are reaching. When it comes to Nick, his entire life, all right, in case it hasn't been made apparent enough. Rekieta's entire life has been a lie. Rekieta's entire perception, his brand, has been a lie. There's a little bit of a difference between a little white lie and, I don't know, doing a bunch of fucking drugs for 2 years and denying a forum that debatably also bolstered your career and then spitting on them. There's a little bit of a difference there. All right? 2 years happens to be the exact length of time that this thread concluded he was using drugs for. Wild how that works. Again. Whoa. Who do you know? What is it? What do you know, or who do you know won the pony, or something like that? I think that's a saying. I hear Jim Cornette use that quite often. But again, you know, 8,000 plus receipts worth of proof right there. But yeah, Baldo will be going live in 31 minutes and counting. I'm be super hyped for that. But let's keep this shit show going for now. If Nick keeps kind of like boring me like midway here, though, I might just go to the Avengers. All right, the Avengers, the LawTube Avengers. All right, as the Kino Casino so elegantly put it.
As long as I am compliant with probation on the date, or up through the date of the jail reporting, which should be August 1st. I believe it's 7 p.m. It's a lot different now. It used to be, I always liked when people met me out in public or wherever. It was fun. It's not always fun now. People have changed their tune, usually because they believe the most retarded accusation. They believe that I would give a child cocaine, which a couple things. One, that's absurd.
Okay. All right. I've seen people throw this at him. I think the people that are just showing you what kind of, like, they're just treating you how you would treat other people, Nick. Because, again, you have said some wild accusations in the past. You've made some very wild, very bizarre accusations about certain people that really leaned on completely absurd and completely, what is that phrase? Bad faith. So now that people are doing it to you, oh, suddenly now it's not cool, right, Nick? Now you don't like it. When you fucking do it, right, to every single person, again, for 6 fucking years, I saw you do this to people for 6 fucking years and get away with it. It's all fine. It's all good, right? We can't say anything bad about Nick, right? Now you lost your, what I like to call the clout shield. The clout capital goes downhill. The stocks go down, baby. And now all of a sudden, people can use truth on you because you can't weasel your way out of it. Now it's not fun. Now it's not fun for you, right? Now it's not fun. Oh well. Cry me a fucking river, bitch. I am sorry. That was very unprofessional of me. I should not call Nick Rekieta a bitch. He is a cuck. That is a very, very, that is a thing we must understand exists in the world. Okay, I must call him by what he actually is. But man, this guy can really get you if you really think about what he stands for, like his character as a whole. If you had to see him get away with this shit for 6 years, right? If even your so-called friends that backstabbed you praised this guy's merits and made you keep your mouth shut and defend him, it kind of, kind of gets you a little annoyed after a while. But I'm glad this is happening now, at least. Just keep going.
No one wants, like, especially if you're partying in the way that I'm alleged to have been partying, you definitely don't want a child on a stimulant that will keep them awake and make them annoying. I don't know if you've ever been around people who are doing cocaine when you're not. Like, they're annoying. So,
Jesus
you know,
Christ, man.
you would never do that to a child just for the simple fact that it's really annoying. But two, oh my God, like you'd be putting your child in such horrific risk. None of that ever happened. And I like that'll go with me to my grave in both ways, because the internet has people who are stupid enough to think that it did. It definitely did not. There's no way I would ever do that. At some point,
Yo, okay, just keep it going.
with Kayla's permission, I will probably play the audio recording of the CPS worker.
So you want to keep being farmed for content. Okay, good to know, bud. Good to know.
Telling us about the test, which we were told about, I believe, one day before our hearing. We did not have the opportunity to.
And everybody's gonna love, farming shit off of Nick at this point. Again, you're still pretty much your own worst enemy. You keep. Why? What is that going to do for you, Nick? What is any of this gonna do? Just self-inflicting punishment. You can't move on, and you want to continue this fucking bullshittery that just, it's not, whatever. Why am I complaining? It's fucking content.
Hire an expert, and they didn't have to ever like justify or validate the test. And I can explain this all at some point, but it's such a weird subject that combines all of these different factors. One with how juvenile and family court goes, and the reduced standard that they have, and the standard that they have to meet. It's two different standards. Sorry. The standard that they have to meet is just a preponderance of evidence, whereas in criminal court, they have to get beyond a reasonable doubt. But the other standard that they have to meet was not to prove that the child ingested a substance actually at all. All they had to prove was that there was a preponderance of the evidence, so 51% likelihood, that there was an ongoing issue with children's.
I know he's like, he's trying to rationalize the whole, hey, I didn't actually hand my kid cocaine so that they can do it. You're just, I don't know if he's not getting it. I don't know if he understands. Yes, it's not that you're handing them the cocaine, because I don't even think you're that stupid. It's just, why put him in that situation in the first place? Trad dad, conservative husband. Why? That's the real thing. I think a lot of people try to dodge this willingly, though they don't need to answer the question. Again, like, there's a couple people that have run defense for Nick, in the circles. I won't name names. You should already probably know. Hey there. Again, the whole thing is, why have kids around drug substances? It should be pretty easy to be like, no. Especially if you harp about how you love your children, use them as a prop for your YouTube image and stuff. It's just, do you not understand how that's stupid? Do you not understand how that doesn't make sense? Like, how dumb do you think the audience is, really? Oh.
Safety to be returned to the home, because that's all they did, was to say that this test shows that something happened. And I can show you what happened, which I'll do eventually, because we have the officers touching my daughter's hair. And I'll show you the study.
So he still wants to blame it on the cop, essentially. So that's what he's going with. He's gonna blame this on the officer, and he's walking away from this being his fault and having the substances near the kids. That's his angle now. He's just gonna blame the cop. All right.
As to how cocaine gets into hair. Cocaine specifically and the metabolite. I know, but I'll I'll show you the studies about how it gets into a hair follicle during the washing process, which is supposed to cleanse that. But this all is there. Now, the great thing is, since they never accused us of doing anything, they didn't accuse us of exposing our child to cocaine or anything like that. We never got the chance to defend it. But you'll hear us when they told us about it. And one of the things people are like, why didn't you get another test? Well, two very simple reasons. The child is not in your legal custody or physical custody, so you can't. I could not have taken my child to go get a test, a follow-up test.
Chat curiosity, pure morbid curiosity. Does anybody in chat actually think Baldo is making any good points, or is, being honest about anything? Is there any goodwill left for Baldo Man in chat? I'm just curious.
And two, we demanded it from the state, and the state said they were not interested in pursuing a follow-up test. And then they never actually used it beyond just showing that there was an issue with children's safety that needed to be resolved before the children could be returned home. This is the problem that the state had, is up until that test came in, they had nothing as a factor for why the children could be out of the home, because all of the children specifically said they had never been exposed to drugs. And if they had been exposed to drugs, it would have been from someone else. Now, I say they specifically said that. The state led that question to all 5 of my children.
So Rekieta is trying to say that he's innocent of this because his children said that it didn't happen. All right. I somehow I'm understanding what he's fucking saying more when we got halfway through this, and rather than like the beginning where it just seemed like, what the fuck are you trying to say? Now it seems like it makes more sense. So far, he is going to blame the cop for touching his child's hair for the cocaine. He's going to try to neglect responsibility for that. And he's also bolstering his point by saying that his children said that they had no interaction with this and that Rekieta was not the reason for it, essentially. So this is what he's going with. This seems to be what he is trying to present to everybody. All right, he's kind of cutting to the chase here. I feel like he could have done without the 7 minutes of babbling earlier on and just gotten to this point, but okay, I guess we gotta warm up the audience a little bit, Nick, with his little victimhood, his little victim complex and bullshit, and now he's going for the throat. And speaking of which, we got 20 minutes to go. All right, look, Rekieta is in chat. He's typing. All right. He's replying to a human I don't know. I guess this is Rekieta's weird sense of humor. He's now shilling his super tip bullshit. All right. So here's Rekieta. All right. Rekieta will be live in 20 minutes, and we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna check this out. All right. So Rekieta says, Trump won all the stuff I was doing while not sober stopped a while ago, so I don't do much. So he's just hanging out, talking to Malcolm X over here. He's saying shit like, hold on. Technically, they are petty misdemeanors, which is weirdly short of actual criminality. So I don't think so. I can go right here. Are speeding tickets a breach of your parole? A breach. Malcolm X, a breach of your parole credentials. I'm trying to calculate the odds of you going to jail on August 1st. Okay, that's what he was replying to. All right, so Baldo will be live about 20 minutes, and we're going to snipe the shit out of that.
Which is why I mentioned.
Right, but let's finish this up. 7 minutes left of this bullshittery.
It in court. I was like,
Just
a
kill on some
7-year-old
time
isn't
right
going
now.
to say that, because a 7-year-old doesn't know what cocaine is. Like that. They don't know what.
Oh, and if you don't want to be outshined by Baldo's gay little support squad over here, is a little, why not donate a super berry to me, rather than this drunk Neanderthal over here, all right? Don't be shown up by this rebard, okay? So just putting that out there.
Drugs are at all. So why would.
Or last we left off, he's basically saying that his kid said he didn't do it, therefore he didn't do it, and that the cop touched his kid's hair, therefore the cop is the one that put the cocaine follicle in his hair's of his kid.
They say this, it's only because the county worker led them through that question. That was it. However, all of the kids said they'd never seen.
So now you're saying that the county worker used a leading question towards his children. So presumably he's trying to make them look bad and him look like a victim. So
Been exposed to drugs. They'd never seen their parents intoxicated. We were blown away, and we wanted to find out. Like, we don't actually know that our child was exposed at all, because it could have been a sample error. Every lab has a sample swap rate where sample of hair comes in, and for whatever reason, the labels get swapped. And each lab has a rate that they keep track of that should be disclosed in discovery. We never got that. They should also have just a general failure rate, both false positives and false negatives that get overturned on, confirmation or whatever. We didn't get that either. We didn't get any of the tools to fight it because they never actually used it. It just got used for that one thing. But people ask, like, why didn't you get another test? You have no physical custody, so you can't grab your kid and take them. In fact, at that point, especially, we weren't even allowed to see them, which was crazy to us. But the second thing is you don't have legal custody. So making that legal decision would have to involve the county. And we asked them, they said no. And I'll tell you, there was one point very late in the case. We are almost done at this point. It's like 2 months out. And the guardian ad litem in our case did not like the fact that one of our children was reporting inappropriate behavior by someone who was around and associated with the county government. Okay. Inappropriate behavior that made one of my children uncomfortable in ways that would infuriate people if I disclose details. And at some point I may.
So he's now trying to say somebody from the county made pedophilic remarks. I mean, it's like pretty much implied by the way Rekieta is phrasing this entire thing. He's trying to say somebody from the county is making like pedophilic remarks or advances towards one of his children. At least that's what he's heavily implying here. I think if you read between the lines, you can definitely see that he's going for this implication right now. Again, it's just pile on to the things that he's going ahead and he's presenting right now.
When my child reported that, the guardian ad litem said my child was lying and threatened to remove all of our children to out-of-family foster care. We're 2 months from having our case closed. That's what you're up against with the government. But our
as a classic government evil plugin.
Kids came back in 5 months, which is the fastest anyone could find in this county. We requested a redo of the hair follicle test immediately. The moment she says it, first I said, that's impossible. And then she was smiling, by the way, the investigator. This investigator literally believed Aaron Imholt when he said that I was a cult leader and that Kayla and April were under my thrall, that they didn't have the ability to make choices.
Dude, what the fuck have I missed? What happened? God, what the fuck? What?
This CPS investigator believed that. Idiocy. It's like, bro, your wife left you. Like, it wasn't me. I mean, it kind of was, but it wasn't me who did it. She was leaving you before I met you. It was a matter of time. But he just can't deal with the fact that he's a giant pile of shit. And so it had to be me, and I had to be using mind control. The crazy thing is, and he'll never admit this, but who cares? Because I regret this. I regret this 1,000,000%. I probably preserved their marriage 6 to 10 times where his marriage would have ended.
Well, does it really matter? Because now the side bitch, April, is gone. She left you. She left Aaron. Like, presumably she caused you more problems than she was worth, right? I mean, even your own local subscribers said this shit, all right? So it's not just me. It's not your lovable son. It's your own locals people that said that she wasn't worth it, Nick. So if you feel proud taking in all those problems from a mid bitch, that's a 5 at best, well, have another drink, Nick. You've earned it.
long time before. I definitely regret that. I didn't know about the abuse at the time. So I was like, no,
Oops.
you gotta like
Something you and Aaron presumably have in common, right?
you can
You know, birds of a feather and all that shit.
preserve your marriage. You can do it. Like you can resolve these problems, et cetera, et cetera. One, I was really wrong. I just didn't know him that well at the time. But two, I did not know.
So yeah, keep in mind, Rekieta did not know this person that well, yet he openly invited this person into his fucking house around his children to fool around like a fucking weirdo. But this is not a neglectful father. This is father of the fucking year right here. All right, remember, he's the good guy. He's so totally the good guy.
That he was physically abusive towards his wife. And so I was trying to keep them together because I believe in the institution of marriage. I know people laugh at that, but that's okay.
The trad, yeah. Gee, I wonder why people would laugh at that. I wonder.
I don't actually believe in the institution anymore. I think just based on my personal experiences, protecting the institution for the sake of the institution is stupid. And so some people's marriages should be preserved and some shouldn't. That one should not have. But it wasn't me who did it. I was just a good catalyst for it, I guess. But yeah, it's that whole thing. Because his wife left him, it had to be, and this is how narcissists work.
Oh boy, we're about to get a lecture about how narcissism works from the biggest narcissist on LawTube. Oh buddy, man, this is gonna be great. Let's see it. Let's hear the lecture.
It had to be someone who took her, someone who took her away from him. It couldn't possibly be.
I feel like there's gonna be a lot of projection here, but yeah, continue.
That he was a giant asshole. Now, he hand wrote a letter about how much of an asshole he was, which I had.
That doesn't seem like a very narcissistic thing to do, though. So you're kind of killing your own point at this, junction. So I would stop and not do that because you're gonna kind of kill your own point because you want to be a narcissist right now and you want to demean this person, be like, I'm still so much better. Kind of like what a narcissist would do. So again, you're kind of killing your own point, but just like, your entire career has been thus far, I'll just let it go up in flames by your own hand again.
Had the letter in my possession because he was a state witness against me, and that letter discredits him entirely. It's very funny.
It is very funny, right, Mr. Narc?
But it was someone else's that they lent to me. But it looks like a child's.
Like Nick is saying that Aaron is the narcissist while he himself is propping himself up as some god. He's like, well, I guess I was the catalyst for your marriage. It's like, yeah. I mean, yeah, you're just not acting like a nerd now. You're definitely not the one, the projector, so to speak, right? The projector.
Scrawled it out in pen. And I was just waiting for the day I got to drop that in court. Because, like, if we did go to trial. And
man, that worked out so well for you, right? What is it? Well, maybe, you know what? Maybe he's not going to jail. Maybe this all worked out in the end. Maybe the farmers don't know what they're talking about, right? Maybe Nick won. We'll see. We'll see in about 9 minutes. So that sounds good.
Well, there would have been some moves to exclude certain witnesses based on being giant dorks. But
dorks.
If we had to go to trial, that letter was coming out. And the state had no idea that we had it. I don't think.
You should post the letter regardless. I don't know why you're just keeping people in the dark. Just post it.
I don't think Aaron even knows that we have it.
Post it.
I saw a clip. I think it was in the past couple days. He was talking about the letters of support that came from Megan Fox, my wife, my mom, and my dad. That's it. I didn't want to. You can flood the court with a bunch of letters of support. They don't.
Oh, wait. Repeat those people.
My wife, my mom, and my dad.
Your wife, your mom. Oh yeah. I think I heard those a little bit in the Kino Casino. They were Was it them? Was it them that were laughing at this shit? Yeah, I think it was.
He was talking about the letters of support.
Yeah,
that
I
came
think they
from
were.
Megan Fox.
Megan Fox is an LOL right off the bat for multiple reasons. Oh shit, man, that thing.
My wife.
Yeah, the Star Trek rerunner. Yes, Lady Rackets. Your mom, your mommy, and your daddy. Okay.
My mom and my dad.
What a amazing support system you have. Incredible support system you have, Nick. Awesome. Great.
That's it. I didn't want
They're worth $1 million, pal.
to, you can flood the court with a bunch of letters of support. They don't usually help that much. And I didn't want to annoy the judge. And
all right, I think it was the Kano Casino that was looking specifically at the Megan Fox one, where Megan Fox does admit basically that Nick in one way or another is a piece of shit. So is it really much of a support letter when there's a little bit of a couple slights at you in between that they need to admit begrudgingly? Nick, is it? I don't know. Maybe it is to you.
he suggested, so they're curiously written in Nick's voice. So apparently I wrote those letters of support. Ha, Megan, you idiot. You thought you wrote that letter.
Well, she is an idiot, but like, that's besides the point.
I see you in the chat. I didn't tell you that I wrote a letter and signed your name to it.
It is bizarre to anybody that still wants to like hang out with this guy that preach about caring about kids. Really? It's just considering the entire context of this entire situation that was full of his downfall. Really, it is really bizarre to see these people moral grandstand about anything, to be honest. It kind of makes you wonder about their character as a whole. So, you know.
Just so you know, sorry.
I hate Rekieta's fake laugh, bro. It's even worse than mine. But it's almost time, ladies and gentlemen. We got 4 minutes. We got 5 minutes left to go. And then the shitstorm will begin. All right, we're going to see Nick Rekieta. Hopefully he'll be drugged. Hopefully he'll do something fun. All right, hopefully. We'll go ahead. We're going to go ahead and see in a little
Somebody
bit.
is gonna fucking
Let's see.
out of you for some of the stupid shit that you
No,
fucking
I guess
said.
since we have 5 minutes.
If only his
one more
parents and
thing.
wife helped him before he took that blow to his nose.
If only. GG Evans, what do you think of Megan Fox, right? That's an interesting question. Does Megan Fox get the GG seal of approval? I want to know. I want to know. All right, let's see if Baldo tweeted anything. I'm sure he did. All right, here it is. Let me show that. And thank you for the 5 GD. This person says, Rekieta, in Rekieta voice, late and questionable, but it's happening. 10:30 Central. YouTube, join me. Oh, we will, man. We will. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be awesome. All right, and he's got it on Rumble too. All right, so we're gonna see the great Nick Rekieta in a matter of moments do his stand-up routine. I saw that stand-up routine. It wasn't very good. It was not very good. All right, let me see. Well, while we do that, let me go to Elisa clips. I think I can get one final clip out of the way before Rekieta goes live. Let's see. Oh, yeah, this is perfect. It's potentially criminal. Sean. That's a guy that Nick Rekieta loves, bro. Will he be drunk? I mean, hopefully. Let's hope. We can only hope. All right, so this is the lovely Sean. All right, he is potentially criminal. All right, he's clearly Nick's best friend. Nick loves this guy so much. All right. Let's see what's going on here. Nick's sentencing by potentially criminal while we wait for the law pope to go live.
And if you guys want to talk about it, yes, Nick got sentenced today. The court placed him on probation for 5 years, which I was like, ooh, wow. He's on probation for 5 years. Basically, it's like he's on a 5-year plan. So, very Stalin-esque for a 5-year plan. I'm sure he doesn't get that reference. Anyway, he's got a jail report date of August 1st, and it appears that jail report date is going to be suspended so long as Nick actually complies with the terms of probation and acts like a housebroken good boy. If he keeps doing what he does and worrying about the fun police and thinking that drugs are cool and do whatever he wants, yeah, he might do 30 days in jail. But for right now, he's got a chance. He's got a chance to show himself that he can act like a civilized human being. So we shall see. We shall see how this goes. Hopefully he can do it. I mean, he did go in there and tell the judge how smart he was, and everybody told him he's so smart. Well, you know, he could show us how smart he is by following written directions. Yes, KRM.
That's funny. That's funny. That's funny. That's funny. That's funny.
As he said, he would never lick the boots of government, and he walked down there and was just, you know, scrubbing them clean.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing, right? Nick says a lot of shit that he kind of goes back on later down the road. We don't ask questions, all right? He's our little circus monkey, okay? Nick is, all right? He's a little drunk, drugged up circus monkey.
But honestly,
he's in a law, a law gimmick.
It's not, you're not doing it that way. So just saying, like, it's not like he's trying to fix his stuff and he gets to take advantage of a dismissal. Why wouldn't you take advantage of that? We'll see if he can do it. Brian says, what's got to happen now between August 1st for him not to serve 30 days? I don't know specifically. I'm assuming a lot of it is he hasn't been on drug reporting and alcohol reporting this entire time. Remember, Nick paid money to not want to have to go test. So now they have to figure out, can you even maintain sobriety? He's got to go get a drug and alcohol assessment. He's going to have to start going to group meetings, whether it's group, intensive outpatient. They're having him go to what's cognitive therapy. Now, guys, that doesn't mean he's like retarded cognitive therapy. It's a program. If you Google it, it's called Thinking for a Change. They call it different things out there. But basically, it's the idea of you have antisocial and criminogenic thoughts, behaviors, and actions you undertake, and we need to get you to stop doing that. Like, you have to.
All right, awesome. What a way to fucking paint the photo. And we're about to hit it live, guys. We're about to go live with Nick Rekieta, the father of the year, all right? Law-splaining the interweb. It's gonna be great. Any moment now. All right, let's keep listening to Sean.
To stop and say,
are you guys excited for Nick Rekieta's grand return?
I'm doing things that are bad. Maybe I shouldn't do these anymore. And then you go, okay, well, what do I do to fix these? I need to have positive thoughts, good thoughts. What do I do? How do I make those thoughts? And then the final part of Thinking for a Change and these types of things is you start learning about how do I develop coping skills. And I don't mean in a joking way or a bad way. Coping skills. How do I handle myself?
How does Nick handle himself? He goes live. He boots up a stream. Let's fucking get it. Come on, Nick. Go live.
When things are getting tough, when things are getting bad, when I'm getting stressful, you know, what do I do to avoid being in these situations where I use and make poor choices? So when it comes down to that, it's always like people, places, and things. You don't do stupid things in stupid places with stupid people. If you avoid those three things, everything's great. If you avoid one of the three, you should be okay. If you avoid two of the three, you're doing really good. So there are options for him, but we'll see. We'll see what he can do.
We'll see what he can do, chat. We'll see what he can do. Let's see if he can fucking go live. Let's see if there's any technical difficulties. All right. I was betting he's drunk when the stream starts. God, I really hope he is. You have no idea how much I'm wishing for that. It'd be like the greatest thing ever if he is. If he's just freaking wasted like he is. Oh, that first time, what was it? People call it, you know how they call it the pill stream for Ethan Ralph? What did they call it for Nick? What did they call it? The coke stream? You know, I think that's what they call it. Yeah, but he's still not going live. Okay, well,
some of the basic stuff, like for right now, they have to assume he can't function like a member of society right now. So they're going to have to we need to check to make sure we don't need to housebreak you. And if they do, they will housebreak him either by boot heel or by the kind word. But it's going to be up to him by which method. And generally, for a lot of your community service, you could do community service at any not-for-profit organization. And depending on where you're at, that may allow you to work at churches too. So there's a lot of places like Nick could go do it proactively. They're not just going to make him come report and them have do things. Shredder says, can probation be reduced? Certainly, the court always has the discretion to modify sentences at any point in time. If we get 2 years in and Nick is like spick and span and perfect, the court could say, yeah, we'll terminate early. But, this court is deciding we need to make sure we're in for the long haul. Says, Sean got felted today. Eat your crow tendies. I don't think I did. I said he wasn't going to jail, and actually, he's not going to jail today.
Not going to jail. Okay, so even Sean, Nick's best friend, has admitted, he's conceded that he's not going to jail. All right.
So I think I won. I think I won there, chat. But if chat determines I didn't win, I'll pay up that 20 pounds. What are the odds that Rekieta, unable to deal with the day clean, let alone 5 years, would violate the probation, head to jail for a month, return to drinking, doping, and endangering connections? If he does that, he fucking loses the ability to get a deferred adjudication. He probably the court could give him even more jail time. So it's not just like the 30 days is a one and done. All
right, he's ready. This is stupid bullshit is ready. What the fuck? What is this? What is this, Nick? What is happening? Okay. That good old Nick Rekieta stream, chat.
Hypocrisy.
Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome to Law-Splaining the Interwebs, actually criminal edition.
Oh, God.
I'm your host, Nick Rekieta of Rekieta Law, a small yet suspended law firm
to be
in
honest,
central Minnesota.
if this gets too boring,
I
might fall asleep.
Aces, and what a fucking year it has been. Woo!
Rekieta's embracing the meme, chat.
Back.
Holy shit, chat.
It's good to be back. I am
Holy shit, chat.
Oh, man. Why am I so skinny? Where'd my meat go? Like, I weigh way more than when I got arrested, so this will be great.
It's good to see Nick making self-deprecating joke and not telling
you
people to
all. It
off
really
themselves for once. It's good.
I have been trying to figure out what exactly to do. For this whole comeback stream and life, all of these things. These are the questions you ponder when you don't have anything else to do other than worry about going to prison. But I'm not going to prison. That's the good news for me.
Holy shit, chat.
In fact,
Nick won.
A lot
it's over. Nick won. It's over, guys.
Deal about my sentencing and all of that stuff. So we're gonna correct that today.
Oh shit.
We're gonna go ahead and fix the bad reporting that happened.
Bad reporting, guys.
It's kind of funny to me, the bad reporting, who it came from, the
whoa, buddy,
glee with which the bad reporting was delivered.
Whoa, buddy? Question mark?
etc.
Is he gonna call him out?
I don't know. It kind of just was.
Is he gonna call them out?
Illustrative of some people, and
he's not calling them out though. Whoa, buddy! Anytime now, come on.
Authenticity, I guess. I was gonna say authenticness. That's not even a word. I forgot how to do this, and do this I mean English. But it goes right to their authenticity. But that's fine. He
doesn't even want to mention them by name.
You do, and life kind of just goes the way it goes.
He doesn't want to call out the house, chat.
But in light of that, we're going to go ahead and
holy shit,
I guess
chat.
Watch
He's a
some of the
giant
reactions
pussy.
and the reporting that happened from my friends, from people who don't know me at all as well.
His friends.
And it was a really tumultuous week for me. And I'll talk through it, and I could tell some court war stories or whatever, mostly post-court. It's not really a war story. It was just being chased down by a weirdo And so we'll just go through a little bit of that. That's going to be kind of the start of the show. It'll be fun, maybe, or it'll be boring. I'm not sure. I want
Jesus
everybody to know.
Christ. I already feel like
I
death,
talked
bro.
about this on Locals earlier. This show is the return show, and it marks the actual like start up of everything.
Those likes,
again.
people.
I've been
We're
trying
suffering
to
through this
get
for
things
you.
started, and it was not working out with my personal schedule. It was not working out with a bunch of different things. And then, of course, I had court looming, and it was like, well, I've waited this long. I'm not going to start now because I would risk messing up, a potential plea agreement, et cetera, et cetera. And so it was tough because it was like these, they felt like false starts, right? And one thing I don't want to do, though, and I don't want to give people the impression that this is going to be a drama-based show. The show is going to be what it is, but
But you
returning
killed
back
your
to the
credibility.
higher focus on law and politics. I'm not going to sit here and run through
God damn it.
dramatic stories of my last year of life. I mean, we're going to have a little fun today just because. But typically, the show's going to go back to what people wanted it to be. Because, that's what entertainment is. I mean, entertainment is the recognition of two things. One, that the audience doesn't actually know what they want, but two, recognizing that the audience knows exactly what they fucking want, and you should deliver it. The problem is that the audience speaks one language and the people who make stuff speak a different language, and you have to marry those two things really well. Sometimes you overstep, other times your life is just an absolute shambles. And instead of doing, what you're supposed to do, and instead of doing your job, you just do a bunch of drugs instead because, you're trying to escape kind of trying to escape a situation or thoughts or anything. I mean, there's a ton of reasons why I got into what I got into. And most of them you'll never hear from me. I mean, who knows what you'll hear? I guess it's possible, but you won't hear them from me. And that's okay. But know this.
Yes.
I really like doing this show. And I've missed it. I've missed all of you. Even though most of you are catastrophic assholes, that's what I've liked about you the whole time.
Has it, Nick?
So that being
Has it?
said, we're going to get back to basics. We're not going to sit and dwell on the life of Nick Rekieta.
How many of you guys think
and
he's
we're not gonna sit
capping?
and talk about like
That means
how my
lying,
day
by the way.
is all the time. I was doing that a lot because I was lazy and tired and beat down. And so I just wasn't able to do the work, or wasn't willing to do the work, or I found something else to do after a while. And people have attributed that to all sorts of stuff.
Which was drugs.
But the reality is I was really, really burnt out and broken by a whole bunch of different things converging together. And that's not an excuse for all the decisions that I made. But let me just go ahead and be honest, because I'm not going to bullshit you.
He's going to be honest for once, guys.
I made a lot of decisions that were really fucking fun. And I had a great time doing a lot of it. It just really
totally going to
sucks
be
that
honest this
what
time.
it ultimately led to was devastating for my family and me. And that's on me. That's my fault. That's I get real hesitant with much to the chagrin of some people with labels like addiction or whatever, because I feel like those things are excuses that people have for what they did. And I don't have excuses. I have explanations and reasons why I made decisions, but they're not, they don't excuse what I was doing. And with that, like my choices are my fault. And, I get to spend some time making up to the people that I actually did hurt and impact with that. There are other people who have tried to involve themselves in that situation, and they can get fucked because they know nothing about it. It didn't affect them in any way.
Is anybody buying this guy on what he's saying? Out of curiosity.
So that being said, though, my stuff is my stuff, and I've owned it to the court. I've owned it to the public. I have no intention of hiding from it. or running from it. I did a bunch of drugs. I had drugs at a really bad time when my house got raided. And that was because of bad decisions that I made to use a bunch of substances while being on a live stream. At least 3. The cop was way wrong, though, on which ones. I mean, other than the cocaine. He really did not, he had no grasp of what was going on that. He's a drug recognition expert. He knew nothing about anything.
Yeah, he's going to rant
drug
about them now.
recognition experts
Well,
are
let me change the
bullshit.
title
You
of
have to
this.
learn that right away. That's just a reality of the trade.
Reality of
They're
the
absolute
trade,
bullshit.
shit.
A complete catastrophe, and the system is engineered to fuck people over. Did it fuck me over? No, it did not. I actually got quite good results for what I was facing, and I'm really happy with the fact that I am not in prison and not going to prison or jail at all. Much to the chagrin and bad reporting of others. That's not happening. But you know, it's all on me. But to be clear, the show will be about stuff I've really been wanting to talk about. Trump has been an absolute gem. Trump has been so funny that I just can't believe it. He renamed the Gulf of Mexico to Gulf of America. Like, I cannot believe it. That's like walking into a Kentucky Fried Chicken and be like, no.
Is Rekieta going to go to the MAGA grift? Is that what he's going to do? Is he going to prove my point again?
It's a little north. Quite spicy enough.
Yeah, if you have problems, this is what I've said, by the way, unironically. If you have issues in life, like any public image issues, go to MAGA and they will accept you. Like, that's literally been my claim from day one. It has not been proven wrong. It's only been bolstered. Like, Exhibit A?
As a trade flex, which is great. He's got tariffs coming, which are like, they're going to suck on prices for a bit, maybe. If they actually get fully implemented and have time to really affect the price chain.
But like, I'll give the devil his due. This is smart. Rekieta, like, trying to say, shall we, and then like going straight into the MAGA grift is probably the smartest thing he's done, because that's probably, again, that's the smartest thing he could do. This is probably the smartest shit this guy has done ever. Just, you know, give a fake apology and now go to the MAGA grift. It's smartest move he's ever done, to be honest.
To show that presidential power is what I've, like, I talked to him, of course, is what I've been saying for years. It is way bigger than most of us think. Presidential power is something that's not tested, typically. We just kind of assume that the president has these limits or doesn't have these limits. But when you go back through history and you look at the president coming up against the judiciary,
Nick's going to give his high IQ takes on the presidency.
What it comes down to is this reality. The president is at least half of the country popular.
Okay. All right. Well, if this is all he's going to do, he's just, all right. So essentially what he did in his little comeback thing is he pretty much blamed everybody else. He gave a fake apology, and then he went straight into, hey guys, let's identify, you know, as one another because I support MAGA. It's literally what he did. Again, I know people have been like sore about my political beliefs or my takes, all right? They don't like me memeing on Trump or whatever. But you got to admit I was right about this. Anytime there's a controversy, like you get, for example, John De La Rose, right? Beats the shit out of his wife. There's legal paper there. He gets a restraining order. He starts praising MAGA, right? All the other people out there, you know, you're getting hot shit, start praising MAGA. All of a sudden, it doesn't matter. It's like you got a clean slate, pal. Rekieta is literally doing exactly what I said he would do. Well, not him, but just in general. You get in hot shit, go ahead and praise MAGA. And then you got a new slate. All right.
Nearby here.
So now we gotta forget everything Rekieta's ever done. It's over, bro. It's over. He won.
For the people who we pay to rule over us.
Rekieta unironically won, guys.
Of that prospect, and they
it's over.
Be.
GG's.
Now, imagine that one guy is convinced half of those assholes to vote for him.
GG's. Rekieta won. It's over. Look, as enlightening as I'm sure hearing Nick Rekieta talk about the presidency for 2 hours might be. You know, I feel like I could do other things. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna call it a stream here. All right, I don't feel like going through Rekieta's legal expertise on the presidency for about 2 hours or however he's gonna go. Plus, I'm sure there's gonna be people like Elisa or something that are just gonna get the clips anyway and just put them out there. So we'll be able to go that at a later date if there is anything to get there. But yeah, I mean, you guys have been great for this, you know, last minute Saturday stream. Appreciate you guys stopping by. All right. Rekieta unironically won. All right. He went to MAGA and he gave a fake apology. All right. There's nothing we can do about it anymore. It's over. All right. now, this honestly is interesting. This could go one of two ways. People could be like, oh yeah, MAGA's definitely a grift because Rekieta could be the cancer that kills it. Or it could just be like, yes, MAGA has lifted Rekieta and saved him or whatever. So I'm just interested in what happens on that notion alone. But again, you know, as insightful as I'm sure Rekieta's legal expertise and take on presidency might be, I just can't do it. I just don't want to. So I'll wait for the Clippers to get the shit. But again, thank you guys for stopping by this last stream. I'll leave it up because I think it didn't get that feisty. It didn't get that feisty to where we need to get rid of it. But yeah, I'll leave it up. Appreciate all you again. Have a good rest of your night. All right, wherever you are. And remember, don't be rackets. Don't be a rebart. And Nick Rekieta won, unironically. Or Nick Rekieta won. GG's, guys. GG's. Another one for the toe. Yeah. Yeah, so true. So true.